In the past, mental health researchers have struggled to reach the people who really need help. Children and young people, people from ethnic minorities, and those with pre-existing physical health problems have often been excluded from research. We need to address these inequalities and involve a more diverse population in our research.
Our research won't be worth anything if it doesn't reach the people for whom its results are supposed to apply to. If we're not involving the range of people that we work with in everyday lives, then we're never going to get the real answers that we need to our questions.
We need to ensure the services are designed for everyone, for all communities, because if you don't address mental health difficulties early and in time, then you're just going to be creating more significant difficulties for people in the future. Communities will see services as failing and they won't want to approach services. They won't seem to be appropriate for them.
The Mental Health Research Initiative has funded over 105 mental health awards, with a focus on regions and groups where mental health research is most needed.
The aim of the work is to reach those that we've failed to reach, reaching into communities where young people are actually accessing help and support that we've failed to reach before, and creating really key relationships, whether they be with the young person, the family, or with providers in the community and charity sector, etc.
In my city in Sheffield, it has a tradition of social justice and there's a tradition of community involvement. And so there are lots of grassroots organisations within the city. What we can do more of is connect with those organisations, but to do that we have to build up trust. A lot of organisations have perceived that researchers don't stay with them. They come in, they take the data and they leave. And I think for you to prove to them that you actually care, you will be there for the long haul, that you aren't just there to essentially use them as a resource for your research.
So, what can we do to better involve people in mental health research?
There are some barriers that make it a bit more difficult to access young people with mental health problems. You have to be ensuring that everyone is safe and supported if you're doing research with that younger age group. But it can be a point-blank no-no from ethics committees for you to interview people who are under 16 around these issues, and can be prohibitively long wait as well to getting ethical approval, and obviously we only have funding for a certain amount of time. I think it is potentially excluding some important voices.
We've worked really hard to get a really good geographical representation in our trials, but we still find there are areas where we lose people with particular characteristics or in particular circumstances. In some of our recent work, we found that we weren't holding on to single parent families. And I think it's completely understandable that if you're a single parent, it's going to be another thing to add to an already stretched and busy life. But there were simple things we were able to do that helped with that. So actually just adding additional funding to support childcare seemed to make a big difference to our retention.
The NIHR is dedicated to funding high-quality mental health research relevant to the needs of underserved populations. Take a look at our funding opportunities page.